Your soulmate sent you their final message. Don't miss this, my child. Stop. Take a breath. Something hidden is unfolding for you right now, and your soul already feels it before your mind can explain it. This is not coincidence, not random scrolling, not chance. The universe has guided you here at this exact moment because a veil is lifting, and a truth meant only for you is finally ready to be revealed. There are messages that travel through time, through silence, through unseen realms. They wait patiently until the heart is strong enough to receive them. And today, the divine is whispering softly but clearly, this is your moment to listen. What you are about to hear has been protected, delayed, and hidden until now, because your spirit had to reach this frequency first. You may have felt it lately. The quiet longing, the unexplainable pull, the feeling that someone out there has been thinking of you without words. This is not imagination. This is alignment. The universe does not rush sacred connections, and it does not reveal truth until the timing is exact. And now, the timing has arrived. There is something deeply personal unfolding, something your heart has been asking for in moments of silence. A message infused with love, clarity, and destiny has been moving toward you, carried by divine intention. It holds answers you didn't know how to ask for and comfort you didn't know you needed. Your soulmate sent you their final message. Don't miss this. These words are not appearing by accident. They arrive as a sacred signal. Your soul recognizes them because it has known this connection beyond lifetimes, beyond distance, beyond fear. Even if your mind doubts, your spirit already understands. This message carries the energy of truth, release, and divine timing. It comes not to confuse you, but to free you. You are being reminded that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, and not disconnected. The universe has been rearranging events quietly, lovingly, so that this moment could reach you in the most gentle way. What is meant for you will never pass you by. It may pause. It may wait. But it always returns when you are ready to receive it fully. Let your heart soften now. Let the resistance fade. This revelation is not here to overwhelm you. It is here to guide you back to alignment, to peace, to clarity. Something hidden is becoming visible, and it carries hope, understanding, and divine purpose. Stay with this message until the end. Allow every word to settle into your spirit. If this resonates, honor the energy by liking this video, sharing it with someone who may need it, and subscribing to the channel so you never miss what the universe sends next. Watch the complete video. Your soul didn't bring you here by chance. Your soulmate sent you their final message. Don't miss this. Listen. Be still for a moment. Let the noise of the world soften, because I am speaking to you now, not through thunder, not through fear, but through recognition. You felt a pull when these words found you. That was not an accident. I do not interrupt lives without purpose. I do not whisper without reason. This message reached you because your soul was ready to hear what your mind has been avoiding. I have watched you wait, wonder, hope, and doubt all at once. I have seen you ask for a sign and then look away when it arrived quietly. Today, I am not quiet, your soulmate has spoken to me. Not with their mouth, but with the ache of their spirit. They sent a message not in language, but in longing. And that message reached me before it reached you. This is not about romance alone. This is about alignment, timing, and the truth you have been circling for so long. There is a bond tied to you that was written before either of you learned fear. And now, something is changing, you have felt it, haven't you? The subtle restlessness. The sense that something is ending even though nothing has visibly broken. You told yourself it was exhaustion, or imagination, or the weight of ordinary days. But I know the difference between tiredness and transition. You are standing at a threshold. One chapter has begun to loosen its grip, and another is breathing just beyond your sight. Your soulmate's final message is not goodbye in the way you fear. It is final because it ends an old pattern, not a connection. It is the last message sent from who they were, not who they are becoming. Souls do not cling to what no longer fits, they evolve. And when one soul shifts, the other feels the echo. I know you have wondered why the timing never seemed right. Why every almost turned into a not yet. Why conversations faded without closure. Why silence sometimes spoke louder than words. You assumed it was distance, or circumstances, or mistakes. But timing is not the enemy you think it is. I have been protecting something fragile and sacred, the moment when you would finally meet each other without masks. You see, love that arrives too early can wound instead of heal. Two hearts unready can mistake intensity for destiny and burn instead of build. I did not delay to punish you. I delayed to prepare you. Every disappointment carved space inside you. Every loss taught you discernment. Every lonely night sharpened your ability to recognize truth when it finally stood in front of you. Your soulmate felt the shift before you did. They sensed the old version of themselves dissolving. The habits, fears, and defenses that once defined them began to loosen. They tried to hold on, not because it was right, but because familiarity feels safer than growth. And in that moment of internal struggle, their soul reached out, to me, and to you. The message they sent was this: I cannot meet you as I was. I must become who I truly am, even if it costs me comfort. That is why things changed. That is why silence appeared where words once lived. That is why answers felt delayed. Not because love ended, but because it refused to remain shallow. I need you to understand something important now. Do not chase what is shedding its skin. Do not mourn what is transforming. When a soul is in transition, it must walk alone for a while. Interference, even with good intentions, can interrupt the work I am doing. Trust is not passive, it is active patience. You have been asking me, is this connection real? Or did I imagine it? Hear me clearly, imagination does not produce resonance this deep. Coincidences do not repeat with purpose. Dreams do not carry weight unless they are anchored in truth. What you felt was real. What you feel now is real. But real does not always mean immediate. Your soulmate's final message was not meant to close a door, it was meant to seal a season. The old dynamic could not continue. The old expectations would have broken you both. So I allowed the pause. I allowed the space. And in that space, I began to rearrange things you could not see. I am working on paths, not just feelings. I am aligning decisions, courage, healing, and self-respect. I am teaching both of you to stand whole. Not half-reaching for another to complete you. Love that lasts is not born from need, it is born from fullness. You may feel tempted to replay every conversation, every glance, every moment where you think things went wrong. But nothing sacred was wasted. Every interaction served its purpose. Seeds were planted. Awareness was awakened. And now, something deeper is being prepared beneath the surface. Do not let fear tell you that final means forever lost. Fear speaks in absolutes because it cannot see beyond the present. I see beyond. I see intersections that have not yet formed, words that have not yet been spoken, and courage that is still gathering strength. There is something I need you to release. The version of love that demands proof through constant reassurance. The belief that silence equals rejection. The idea that if something is meant for you, it must arrive easily. Some of the most meaningful unions are forged through refinement, not convenience. Your soulmate is learning how to choose you without abandoning themselves. You are learning how to trust without losing your grounding. These lessons cannot be rushed. If they were, the connection would collapse under the weight of unmet expectations. I know the waiting has tested you. I know nights have come where you asked me if you were foolish to believe. But faith is not believing without evidence, it is believing despite incomplete information. And right now, you do not have the full picture. That is intentional. This message found you because you were about to give up on listening. You were about to close a door I am not finished opening. I am not asking you to pause your life. I am asking you to live it fully without forcing outcomes. When you stop gripping the future, you make room for it to arrive naturally. There will come a moment, unexpected, quiet, unmistakable, when things make sense in a way they never did before. It will not feel chaotic. It will feel grounded. Familiar, but new. And you will realize that the distance, the silence, the uncertainty were not obstacles, but preparation. Your soulmate's final message was carried on trust. Trust that you would feel it even without words. Trust that you would grow instead of harden. Trust that I would handle what neither of you could control. And now, I am asking you something gently, not as a command, but as an invitation. Release the urgency. Lay down the need to define the ending before it reveals itself. Let mystery breathe. Let suspense sharpen your awareness instead of feeding your anxiety, because this is not the end of the story. This is the moment just before understanding arrives. And when it does, it will not shout. It will settle into you with a calm certainty that says, "This is why everything unfolded the way it did." Stay open. Stay steady. Stay aligned with who you are becoming. Not who you were when you first longed for this connection. I am closer than you think. Your soulmate is closer than you realize. And what is coming next will require you to listen even more deeply, because the next message will not come through separation or silence, but through a truth that will ask you to choose whether you are ready to receive what you once asked for, because receiving changes you more than waiting ever did. I am asking you now to listen beyond emotion. Emotion rises and falls like tides, but truth is steady. Truth does not rush you, and it does not beg. It waits until you are strong enough to hold it without trembling. That is what I have been cultivating in you. Strength without hardness. Openness without desperation. Love without self-erasure. You have mistaken longing for readiness before. Many do. Longing feels spiritual because it is intense, but intensity alone is not alignment. Alignment is quieter. It feels like peace even when answers are incomplete. And lately, despite your questions, you have felt moments of calm you could not explain. That calm is not resignation. It is preparation. Your soulmate's soul recognized this shift. They felt a release inside themselves that frightened them at first. When old attachments loosen, the ego panics and calls it loss. But the soul knows better. The soul knows when it is shedding weight so it can walk farther. That is why their message carried finality. It was final for the version of them that could not walk beside you in truth, Do not misunderstand this. Growth often looks like distance before it looks like union. Two people can be moving toward each other while appearing to move apart. Direction is not always visible from the surface. That is why I ask you to trust the unseen work. I do my most important work where eyes cannot reach. I have been teaching you to listen to yourself without judgment. To notice when your heart speaks softly instead of shouting. To honor intuition without demanding it perform on command. These lessons are not random. They are required for what comes next. Because the next phase of this connection will not survive old habits. It will not tolerate guessing games, emotional chasing, or self-sacrifice disguised as devotion. It requires two people who can stand in honesty without fear of abandonment. That level of love does not arrive to rescue you. It arrives to walk with you. You asked me once, quietly, almost ashamed, why does this feel bigger than other connections? It feels bigger because it is not only about companionship. It is about purpose. This bond is meant to awaken parts of you that would remain dormant otherwise. Creativity, courage, compassion, truth-telling. The kind of love that does not distract you from your path but illuminates it. But illumination can be uncomfortable at first. Light exposes what you have hidden even from yourself. That is why I have been gentle and slow. Sudden revelation can overwhelm a heart that is still healing. Your soulmate's final message also carried gratitude. Gratitude for the way you mirrored them without trying. For the way you held space without control. For the way your presence stirred growth even in silence. You did more than you know simply by being who you are, and you, too, have sent messages without words. Every time you chose patience over panic. Every time you resisted the urge to chase clarity before it was ready. Every time you trusted me instead of your fear. These choices have been shaping the future more than any conversation could. I need you to release another belief now, the belief that love must be dramatic to be meaningful. Drama is often a sign of misalignment, not destiny. What is destined brings steadiness, even when it challenges you. When this connection fully re-enters your life, it will feel different from what you expect. Less chaos. More truth. Less guessing. More presence. That does not mean it will be effortless. Growth never is. But effort will feel purposeful, not draining. You will not feel like you are auditioning for love. You will feel chosen without performance. You may be wondering when. I will not give you a date, because dates become idols. They pull your attention out of the present moment, where your power actually lives. Instead, I will tell you this: Watch for alignment, not signs. Alignment shows up as opportunities that no longer require force. Conversations that happen naturally. Decisions that feel right even when they scare you. Your soulmate is being led through a realization about themselves, about what they truly value, what they can no longer pretend, what kind of love they are capable of sustaining. This realization cannot be rushed by reassurance from you. It must be owned from within. Only then will they be able to meet you without hesitation, and when that happens, the energy between you will shift noticeably. You will feel less anxious, not more. You will feel grounded, not dizzy. Excitement will be present, but it will be calm excitement, not the kind that steals your sleep. That is how you will know the season has changed. I know part of you fears that by letting go of expectation, you might lose the connection entirely. But letting go does not mean letting disappear. It means releasing your grip so something can move freely toward you. What is truly meant for you does not require captivity. I am not testing you. I am refining you. There is a difference. Tests measure worth. Refinement reveals it. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing anything that cannot find you again. Time bends differently when purpose is involved. What feels delayed to the mind is often perfectly timed for the soul. You have learned how to sit with uncertainty without abandoning yourself. That is a sacred skill. Many never learn it, and they mistake urgency for love their entire lives. You are breaking that pattern now. That is why this moment matters. Your soulmate's final message was also a promise, though it did not sound like one. A promise to meet you with honesty when the time is right. A promise to return not out of loneliness, but out of readiness. A promise to choose depth over familiarity, and your role right now is not to wait in stillness, but to live in alignment. Create. Explore. Strengthen your sense of self. The more fully you inhabit your own life, the easier it will be for the right connection to step into it without disruption. Do not shrink your joy to make space for someone who is still growing. Joy is magnetic. It does not push true love away, it draws it closer. There will be a moment when you look back on this period and realize it was the bridge, not the barrier. The pause, not the punishment. The sacred in-between where you learned how to trust yourself and me at the same time, and when the next message arrives, because it will not feel like suspense anymore. It will feel like recognition. Like something clicking gently into place. Like a sentence finishing itself after a long breath. Until then, remain open, not alert. Present, not watchful. Faithful, not fearful. You do not need to protect yourself from what I am guiding toward you. You only need to stay true to who you are becoming. I am still speaking. This story is still unfolding. And there is more I need to reveal when you are ready to hear the next part, because what comes after this moment will ask you not just to listen, but to respond, not with urgency, not with doubt, but with a clarity you are only now beginning to recognize as it rises quietly within you, shaping the choice that will soon stand before you, waiting for you to notice that it has been there all along, because now the time has come for understanding to settle where confusion once lived. I am going to speak plainly to you, not to remove the mystery, but to ground it. Mystery without grounding becomes fear. Mystery with truth becomes wisdom. You have walked long enough through uncertainty to earn clarity, not all at once, but enough to move forward without hesitation. Here is what you must know. Your soulmate's journey and yours were never meant to mirror each other step for step. Parallel paths do not always run side by side. Sometimes they curve away so they can meet again at a higher point. What felt like separation was elevation. What felt like loss was refinement. What felt like waiting was actually becoming. I watched you question your worth when answers did not arrive. I watched you wonder if you asked for too much simply by wanting depth. Hear me now and let this truth anchor you. You did not ask for too much. You asked the right thing from the wrong timing. Timing is not rejection. Timing is protection. The love that is meant for you must meet you when you can both hold it without fear. Fear distorts love into control, attachment, and self-doubt. I have been removing fear gently, layer by layer, from both of you. That process required space. It required silence. It required trust, and you trusted, even when you didn't realize you were. Every time you chose not to harden your heart, you trusted. Every time you chose compassion over resentment, you trusted. Every time you allowed uncertainty to exist without abandoning yourself, you trusted. That trust changed you. You are not the same person who first felt this connection. You are more discerning now. More grounded. Less willing to betray your own truth for closeness. This growth was necessary. Without it, reunion, of any kind, would have repeated old cycles. Your soulmate, too, has been learning. They have been facing parts of themselves they once avoided. Patterns they inherited. Fears they disguised as independence. Expectations they carried without questioning. Growth is rarely graceful. It is quiet, internal, and often invisible to those watching from afar. That is why you were not meant to intervene. Intervention would have delayed the lesson. Chasing would have weakened the outcome. Forcing clarity would have replaced truth with reassurance. I protected you from that. Now listen carefully, because this is where the message completes itself. the final message your soulmate sent was not meant to close your heart. It was meant to close your waiting. Waiting as a state of suspension. Waiting as self-denial. Waiting as putting your life on hold for something undefined. From this moment forward, you are no longer meant to wait. You are meant to live life fully. Speak honestly. Choose joy without apology. Move forward without dragging the past behind you like proof of devotion. What is aligned with you will keep pace. What cannot keep up is not meant to lead you. This does not mean you forget. It means you trust that what is real will return transformed, or be replaced by something that matches the person you have become. I do not remove one sacred thing without offering another. That is not my way. You have feared that ending this message means ending hope. But hope is not fragile. It does not disappear when stories pause. Hope evolves. It matures. It becomes certainty instead of longing, and here is the certainty I offer you now: you will not miss what is meant for you. You will not be overlooked. You will not be asked to beg for clarity or consistency. You will not be required to shrink to be loved. The love that belongs in your life will recognize you in your wholeness, not your hunger. Whether that love arrives through the return of this soulmate, changed, present, ready, or through a new expression that meets you without history, the essence will be the same: peace, depth, and mutual choosing. Do not fixate on the form. Trust the essence. I know you wanted certainty in a name, a moment, a promise. But what I have given you is stronger: alignment within yourself. From that alignment, the right outcome cannot be missed. The chapter that ends here is the chapter of confusion. The chapter that begins now is the chapter of grounded truth. From here forward, your heart will no longer ache in the same way. It may still feel, but it will not beg. It will not chase echoes. It will recognize resonance when it arrives, and when love speaks to you again, through this soulmate or another, it will not arrive as suspense. It will arrive as clarity. Not overwhelming. Not destabilizing. Simply true. Remember this when doubt tries to return: what is meant for you does not need to hide. What is real does not need constant interpretation. What is aligned does not require you to abandon yourself. You have done the work. You have honored the process. You have listened. Now, I release you from waiting. I release you from questioning your worth. I release you from replaying what was. Step forward with trust. Carry peace with you. And know that nothing sacred has been lost, only transformed. This message ends here, not because the story is over, but because you no longer need suspense to stay open. You are ready now. And what comes next will meet you where you stand, not where you once were. Go in clarity. Go in truth. Go in peace. And remember, I am always with you. Amen.